All right, guys, it is time for triple Tenable budget knives priced right. These are all three under 70 bucks for killer designs. I mean, this is really, really cool. Let me take my finger brace off, but welcome back to the Knives Fast channel, guys. Come on in. Let's jump into these. First, we have the Tenable Knives Bombur. The Bombur is a budget remake of the the Midgard's Messer Bombur. Then you have the Tenable Gideon, and this is designed by Dead Sober Designs. And then last but not least, we have an O Stop Hell design with this guy, which is the Kratos. So let's jump in to all three. And again, we have micarta, we have G10, and we have G10, and all three of these are under 70 bucks. So this is really cool for sure. Now let's jump in. We're not going to do full reviews. We're going to do like overviews here. This is the Kratos by Ostap Hell. You can see that right there. It is a Japanese Tanto. The Kratos in purple and black G10. Now, there are a bunch of versions of this. It looks like 5. And this particular one sits at $56.89 with Nitro V blade steel and in 3.79-inch blade. And, of course, this checkered G10. Now, it is flat G10, but you have heavy chamfers, and that's how you're able to see the second tone of the G10. We're milling down into that second, and then also with this, they mill into that, which I think is so cool. We have a liner lock, so full steel liners. We have barrel spacers, and we have a lanyard pin. We have a, reversible? No, not reversible, which is interesting. So a not reversible deep carry clip. Wish it was reversible, but it's not. Flipper only design. The detent is fantastic. It is riding on bearings, and you can see very smooth, very clean detent. We have a decent, not as good as I would like, but a decent sharpening choil. You can see it is a little gradual, so after a few sharpenings, you're probably going to end up with a little bit of thickness there. You can see we kind of have a little bit of a compound grind here to get you, again, flat, but that gets you that Japanese Tanto look. You have a huge swedge up here. One of the things I like about a big swedge like that is the cut relief that gives you on the cut. Really, really nice. We are locked up at about 45 to 50%. We are dead center. No lock rocker blade play. Really, really cool indeed. Lots of milling for weight reduction. Now, again, these are $56.89. It looks like there are a bunch of different versions of this. Wow. Okay. So including a white G10, which is really kind of wild looking. But again, let's just go down here to the specs, which are going to tell us it is a 8.68-inch knife with a 3.79-inch blade, 0.137 on the stock thickness, but you don't ever get that full thing simply because you've got this really thin swedge. Now, 4-finger grip, you do have a place to land right there. Not a big deal. Feels pretty good in the hand. I will say, feels a little square right in here. I just wish the chamfers were a little heavier. By the way, you do have good access to that lock bar with a chamfer, and you have to get past that detent. You can see there, it wants to hang on that detent. Let's see. There we go. Got it that time. And it is 4.34 ounces with a G10 handle, Ostap Hell design. We'll do comparisons of all three at the end. Now, for $68.89, you can get this beast. This is the Tenable Bombur Midgard Messer's design, 3.53-inch blade with frag pattern. And I believe, hold on, that might be G10. I said micarta earlier. I'm thinking that might be G10. Let's see. It is. It's brown G10. I apologize for that. Really cool looking indeed. Let's just do this. Whoops. You can front flip it, but it takes a lot of force. Decent jimping. It could be a little more, it's so fine and so big that I don't get quite as big of a grip on that as I wish. But again, you can use the fuller to flick, but I can't right now because of my finger. You can thumb flick it with that hole. Really cool. Big beast. Now, this is super thick and chunky, so you're going to feel that in your grip, but it is a 4-finger grip. The jimping works well here, but again, I'm feeling all kinds of warm spots all around in here just because it is so thick. And again, the chamfers or the contouring needed to be more so. Black wash D2. 8.38 inches overall with a 3.53 inch blade, 7.55 ounces. We do have thick, full steel liners with heavy milling, but it's a big boy. So that's what happens. Now, when we are closed, we are dead centered and all the way out to the end. When we're locked up, about 25%. There's a little bit of side-to-side blade play. And you know what? There's a tiny bit of lock rock. So maybe it just needs tightening. It feels pretty tight, but that's just something to note. Again, it's not going to unlock. Nope. Decent clip, kind of interesting. You can see here, you'll have about that much sticking out of your pocket, and it does appear to be reversible. Very cool indeed. Now, that is the Bombur, and we will do the full specs at the end. And last but not least is the Gideon, which is a really interesting knife. You kind of have a clip Persian here. By the way, I have no idea what to call this blade on the Bombur. I think that's a clip point as well, but lots of belly on that one. Now, next, you have, if I can find it, holy moly, the Gideon, 6689. It is a 3.5 inch black wash. Let's try to flick it. Yep. Nitro V blade, Tiffany blue G10 handle, dead sober design. Now this one is 8 inches overall, 3.5 inch blade, 0.118, so under 0.12 inches on that thickness. Black wash Nitro V, Tiffany blue G10, 3.64 ounces. And again, all these are made in China by Tenable Knives, also known as Concept. 6689. There are a bunch. There's 6 or 7 versions of this. You have a black wash blade in Nitro V. You have very contoured scales. I wish they'd do that on all 3 of these. You can see the banding that you get from that. Beautiful. There's your dead sober logo. Gideon, Tenable, and of course Nitro V. Good access to that lock bar. Crap. See, I keep forgetting things. On this guy, the Bombur, you have great access and a great chamfer as well. Forgot to tell you that. And the action on this one is super droppy on bearings. Now, this one's also on bearings. You can see there. Comes all the way out to the end and dead center. When we are locked up, we're locked up at about 20, and nope, nothing. This one's not moving at all. Lots of weight reduction, milling inside, some big long backspacer, which seems to act as the blade stop. You have kind of texturing that gives you jimping here. 4-finger grip. Now, since it's so thin back here, you feel this clip here. And not really here, really. I'm just feeling it here. Very close to being a hot spot, but I can relax around it. It is not reversible, unfortunately, but really cool indeed. That is the Gideon. So let's put all 3 of these out. This is going to take up a lot of room because these are all 3 beastly knives. They are going through a beast stage, I guess. We have the Ontario Rat 1, which is also a beast, and about, the biggest of these is the Kratos, and you can see it might be tiny bit bigger than the Rat 1, and then the Rat 2 way down here at the bottom is a little bit, let's just scoot everything up. The Rat 2 is quite smaller than all 3, okay? And then we've been doing this lately. Here is your Tempest Microburst, which is smaller than all these, and your Tempest pinion, which is going to be about the same size as the Gideon and a little smaller than the Bombur and the Kratos, okay? So there you go. Those are your knives. Again, hope you guys enjoyed checking these out. Thanks to Lefty for putting these in the pass around and for our friends at Tenable for sending these to him. So there you go, guys. Shoot, I forgot to cut with those last two, so let's do it. Here's your Bombur. Way slicier than you would think. Way slicier than you would think. And, of course, the Gideon is, well, okay, that caught on me. I'm not sure why. All right, well, let's find a clean piece of cardboard here. Hold on, we're going to give the knife a fair shot because that was bad. Yeah, no, we're fine. It was just because I was unable to hold on to the cardboard like I should. We're good. So, again, great sharpening relief on this one. Should not be a problem. And then on the Bombur, yeah, after a couple of sharpenings, you're going to have some issues with that one. So, unfortunately, it's just the nature of the design. But, guys, like this one, comment down below. Let me know what you think of these three. Thank you so much for your incredible support. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell to all. And thanks for watching the Knives Fast channel.